Okay, I drew these 3 cards for you, the viewer. This is what is known as therapeutic tarot interpretation. It's not necessary for you to know anything about tarot and its symbolism. This is more like a Rorschach experiment, where what's important is how you feel about the images. What the images mean to you personally. Now this one here, you see there's a woman and a man image. And then in the center, there's a man and a woman dancing together. I picked these 3 cards at random. It looks like they were almost chosen on purpose, doesn't it? A man on one side, a woman on the other, and then a man and woman dancing in the center under the moon. In therapeutic tarot card interpretation, the viewer studies the images on each card and looks for the symbols, colors, textures, art that seems to remind them of things or bring certain thoughts to the forefront of their mind. How do you feel when you see a woman? How do you feel when you see a man? When you see a man like the man in this display here, does the man remind you of anybody? Does he bring a good feeling, a bad feeling, a neutral feeling? Could he be a neighbor, teacher, brother, father, preacher? Some kind of symbol like that you associate him with. On the other side, you could say the same thing about the woman. Mother figure, sister, teacher, spouse perhaps. You notice the faces have 2 different aspects. One seems to be light, one seems to be dark. One seems to have an eye closed, one seems to have an eye open. Do those bring any thoughts to mind? The woman with the sword. What does the sword symbolize? Does it remind you of anything? You take your time and look at the picture and see what you feel. What comes to mind? You see the wings behind the woman? The crown on her head? You see the light gold around her head? It kind of brings out a little bit of feeling out of her face. She almost looks like she might be sleeping. Does that bring anything to mind? The couple in the center dancing. They look like they're having a good time. You see some buildings in the background. It's nighttime and the moon is out. Does that have any kind of sense of meaning to you? Do any thoughts occur to you? Going back to this almost seems to be an intentional drawing of 3 cards that are all related. Does the fact that all 3 of them seem to have a common theme of a man and a woman, does that mean anything to you? Do you have issues in your life relating to a man and a woman together that could symbolize somebody? Do they remind you of your mother and father? Employer and his wife? Teacher and her husband? The idea of this type of tarot reading is intuitive and therapeutic. It completely disregards what is the standard description or definition of what the characters and the suit stand for. This type of analysis is just based on what you feel and what thoughts are brought forward as you look at the images. These particular images come from the Deviant Moon Tarot set, and I personally think that they're very descriptive in the sense that they're rich with artistic elements. When you look at them, like all art, it's supposed to bring feelings and emotions, and your eye will start on one place on the image and travel around the entire portrait, taking it in. You look at the details, and often there's meaning in the details. In a way, you're actually analyzing yourself using the cards as triggers to bring forth feelings and thoughts. And the human mind makes comparisons. You might even feel that these cards have something to do with your current situation. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. You can always look at these for a while, turn off the video, turn off YouTube, and go and do something else. And in your subconscious mind, you'll still continue to think about them and about what I've said to you during this session. In 24 hours, you could come back and take another look. Maybe by then you'll have thought of some comparisons and some similarities to your situation in life. So I welcome you to come back, and the next time you visit, there will be selections of 3 different cards that you can look at and see what you feel. See what the images bring to mind. It's all about learning about yourself. It's a self-examination. It's based on psychological information, not just ancient tarot meaning, but on my modern scientific investigation and study. So please come back another time and take a look at the next 3 cards that I'll display for you to look at. You've listened to me speak about my opinion on these images, but everyone's different and they're going to feel different things when they look at these images. My thoughts about these 3 images could be completely different than yours. There is no right or wrong. There just is. So thank you for coming by my YouTube channel. And if you lasted all the way through the presentation, I appreciate your tenacity to see it through. You have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow night.